Hey, everybody, this is Instructional Snapshots with Jeff Norris. I had the opportunity to visit Coosa Valley Elementary School a few weeks ago and visit lots of different great classrooms with great teachers who are doing some great instruction. And one of the highlights for me was visiting Alex Davis in a kindergarten classroom. This is Miss Davis. Welcome. And we're so excited to have you. I always tell people I love going in kindergarten classrooms because about 20 minutes later, I can say goodbye to the kindergartners and leave them with the experts. So kudos to you for what you do. And I tell people all the time, we learn the most from kindergarten teachers because you have procedures for everything. And it's just like you think through things so much better than the rest of us do. So I'm hopeful that we're going to share a strategy today with you, something I saw in your classroom, and hopefully you can give us some advice and kind of dive deep into why you're doing what you're doing and then how it makes an impact on students. So this is called, I call it sand trays. I don't know if this is the right way to call it, Miss Davis. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I call it sand trays. Yeah, and the science of reading. So I've got a video. I'm going to start off and just show this quick video. And I think it explains itself, but I want to show it to everybody. And then you can kind of walk us through what this lesson looks like on a typical basis. Here we go.
Okay. Eyes on me, eyes on me.
That's right. You see her on a table.
The sound is repeat. Write it. Good.
All right, I'm going to leave it on that so we can kind of see the picture. We can see her foot hanging out in that corner. So walk us through, okay, so science of reading gets a bad rap. I don't know if you feel this, but it's kind of, it has this negative connotation sometimes. And I think the biggest aspect of it that people have a hard time adjusting to is this piece that is really explicit instruction. It's this direct instruction piece. And it's kind of scary to hear that. You feel like it's not as engaging for kids. But what I'm seeing right here is kids who are pumped and excited. And when I was in the room, I wish the video kind of extended because there's so much to this lesson. But maybe just talk through us. First of all, let's just talk how does this lesson work on a typical day?
Okay, so on a typical day, I teach at the carpet, and then I dismiss to their tables. I have a clap dismissal, so anytime I want them to do anything, I clap. They have to listen to my instructions. They have to enter a certain way to get sand trays, exit a certain way, hold the trays with two hands, get to their desk, and then I immediately go to the top of the table.
So this is, these are 5-year-olds, y'all, 5 and 6-year-olds. Yes. And I'm sure it has taken longer than I expected, but they are well-oiled machines getting these trays, holding with two hands, powerful instruction. All right. And then you hop on the table, which is a little unfamiliar too.
They're not playing
right.
it. That was another big, you got to stay out of it. So I hop up on the table, and as you can see, I have a clipboard. It's just this, but it's just notes. And so I stand on top of the table because I learned if you stand on top of the table, you can see your entire room from a bird's eye view. And so you don't have to walk around, because then when you're walking around, your little friend is playing.
And you miss somebody too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I can just see quickly, and I can correct it real quick, and then I can move on. And they're, like I said, they're 5-year-olds. So their attention span's not there. But this is we do shaving cream. This is so much better, in my opinion. They're engaged. They look forward to sand trays.
Yeah, I love this. So I've seen it in small group before too. So I think just opening this up to a whole class strategy, and just that those multiple modalities are great, but and just the speed that you had this, like you said, you have this routine in place. You went from whole group back to, back at their desk, then you were back to whole group again, then you can do small groups. And I think people are scared to release the control a little bit, or else I might be when I picture 20-something 5-year-olds with sand and trays, and so I think getting over that initial being frightened of that and seeing how powerful it is really important. So tell me, okay, so I know this took some time getting in place. So tell me about that release of control. Do you just, is that typical for you, or is this something you just had to just try it? And it worked.
Yes, I just had to try it. I will say I used to keep them in little crayon boxes that have the lids, but they turned them upside down and everything went down. And I was like, ah!
Yeah.
And then you lose sand, and you got to go buy more. So it's just a fiasco. So I tried trays. Last year I started using trays, And I just was very intentional. The whole month of August, I would teach my whole group, and then I would do what I have a button. It's called my dance party button. So I press this button and they do a dance party, and it's like 15 seconds. And in that 15 seconds, I'm just setting out sand trays.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just learning how to operate with a sand tray, how you shake it, how you ride it. You don't play. And I took them away. There were several times that I saw playing like this, and I just took their sand tray,
Mm-hmm.
and they got
Yeah.
paper. And so, but they learned. So then when I felt like we were comfortable with that, we worked on walking our sand trays to the return spot. And so I have one way you enter. If you can see that table in your corner and the picture over there. Okay, so that's my sand trays go over there. You have to enter on the right and exit on the left. And anytime throughout any of the day, you have to enter on the right and exit on the left. Doesn't matter if you're using sand trays or not. It's just because then that's a habit for them. So they walk 2 hands. And then when they got really good at that, about mid-September, we just started picking them up. And so I called them by table and said, come get it. Same procedure.
And I mean, when I say it's like magic that it happened, I mean, I walked in and I mean, maybe I'm easily impressed. I don't know. No, really not easily impressed. But this was something I saw and I was like, teachers can do this if they know about it. And you and I just had that conversation. Like, I think the best way for teachers to learn from each other is just to see it in action. So I love that I stole the video real fast and like I've got it. And I know we don't love to put ourselves out there like that, but I really appreciate you kind of opening up your classroom and showing this, because I really feel like this is a high payoff strategy. And even like, beyond the sand trays, I love the idea of stepping up on that table. Now that would scare some people, but I feel like there is that, that viewpoint, and the fact that you can see everyone at the same time, it changes it up for kids a little bit. So even just that one strategy, watching this, like I could see it being used multiple ways. And even with the sand trays, though, I love that, the video I have is just that one letter. And it's almost like you had this routine. You start with the single letter or single sound, I'm assuming, and you kind of build on that. So tell us where your kids are now using these trays.
So today we were doing digraphs with the trays. So we are, CCVCC words. Like very long words. I still always start out with a few sounds, though, just because to build the confidence of some of your children who aren't ready to build words. So I always start out with sounds because it just builds their confidence.
I love that.
And then we keep going. But I have a release word. Earthquake.
Okay.
So you earthquake, that's how you shake your tray. If you earthquake too much and it goes over my tray, you're done.
I love that.
And so I really do. I am OCD. So I don't like a lot of mess. So for me to do these trays, there was several times that the whole tray went in my floor and I was like, oh, it's okay. Just but they're really like, it's not hard to do if you just use that procedure.
And the payoff is worth it. So like you said, I think, and giving kids, like, I love the aspect of empowering kids too. So the fact that you aren't, like, I love that you gradually released it to them, but now they've owned this process, and there are mistakes that are going to happen. You're exactly right. But I feel like they own the process. They see the value in it, and just high payoff all the way around. So I love this. If they are interested in contacting you, can you give us your email address real quick? I should type it in, but just tell us your email address real quick.
So Alexandra, AlexandraJCarnes @gmail. That's my personal. So
perfect. Yeah, I love that.
It's beneficial. Like I said, you have to go through the curves, but the kids love it. And they ask. Like, sometimes I think we have, we do fun stuff. Like, sometimes I just let them, hey, you can just play for a little while. Like, they're still kids. And so I let them play. But there's something, they're like, hey, when are we doing sand? Or when are we doing shaving cream?
Yep.
And they're holding on to it.
Yep. So high engagement.
Yes.
High engagement, and then focus on content. Like, I think if you can do both of those things at the same time, 2 thumbs up for me, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank y'all for watching. If you have any questions, hey, email either one of us. We're happy to help.
Thank you.